Our next speaker is ISHA Sharma. ISHA is an international development advisor by day and wellness mentor by night. With more than a decade of experience across 6 countries, ISHA blends economic policy and social impact with inner transformation. Having left consulting at BCG, ISHA now serves as a manager at the UAE Presidential Court, a former board member and charity trustee of the London School of Economics and a World Economic Forum Global Shaper. ISHA is passionate about youth leadership. Besides being a TED speaker, World Forum and UN Fellow, ISHA is also a yoga, breathwork and meditation teacher and has reached over 10,000 people globally through healing and conscious leadership. Her mission, to create systems that serve both the world and the soul. Today, ISHA will draw on her meditation learnings and teachings to demonstrate the hidden workings of our mind that govern our attention. Let's have a round of applause for ISHA, please.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Am I audible? Great. So, thank you for the introduction, Ananya. As much as I'm proud and humbled by all the achievements I've had and gotten to experience, I'd like to share more about a hobby and a lifelong passion that I've had, which has probably taught me more life lessons than the titles I've received. So, ever since I was a child, I loved photography. So everywhere I went, this little camera came along with little Isha, capturing leaves in the sunlight, my family's spontaneous laughter and quiet moments, and even mundane details such as reflections and shadows. Mind you, my folks weren't always a fan of my constant clicking, especially in an age where social media wasn't even the norm. But for me, photography was like capturing moments of magic, a little story captured in time. It offered me a way to appreciate the world. And as I was looking through these old albums stored in my closet and looking at these old pictures, I noticed something interesting. Although I thought I was capturing my version of reality, I was actually choosing pieces of it. I was choosing what to include and what to leave out. I was crafting my own story, unconsciously or consciously, without me knowing it. As a meditator, practitioner, and a mindset coach for the past 20 years, I noticed the same phenomena in our lives. Just like how we take pictures, our mind and intention captures moments and memories and makes it our own, crafting stories we tell about ourselves, our lives, our relationships, careers, our past, present, and future. So if the stories we tell shape our lives, and what we give attention to shapes our stories, what shapes our attention? When I was an undergrad, I was a student in NYU, and after graduation, I left the US and stayed in a monastery for 3 years. Everyone thought I was cuckoo and lost it. But I was so curious into how attention and our mind worked. I spent time with monks and spiritual gurus, diving very deep into spiritual texts, and most importantly, spending hours and hours in intense meditation and introspection. And here's the key insight I found. Our attention has an attention of its own, and our mind has a mind of its own. So today, I'd like to take you to 3 tendencies that I found most pertinent in our lives to show how they shape our narratives for ourselves and for the people around us. And so let's start with the first tendency. Can I have a brave volunteer who would like to demonstrate with me? Anyone? Okay, great. Hi sir, what's your name?
My name is Vaibhav.
Hi Vaibhav. So Vaibhav, I don't know you personally, but I'm going to tell you what I see. It seems like you have a great dressing sense, very well put together. You seem to have a very warm presence, a dazzling $1 million smile. And you seem to be very smart and articulate. But Vaibhav, you know that haircut? I think it could just match with your overall dress code. I think that'll suit you. Yeah? So Vaibhav, tell me, I gave you these compliments, but what is the one detail that you remembered?
My haircut.
Did everyone remember Vaibhav's haircut? Or is it just everyone?
Yes.
So So my friends, that is the negativity bias in action. Our minds have a natural inbuilt tendency to remember and respond and stick to negative stimuli more than positive. I could have given Vaipa 100 more compliments, but he still remembered that one criticism. And why is that? Far from being a personal flaw, this negativity bias is actually a self-preservation mechanism that evolutionary grew over time as a part of our natural selection as human beings. Imagine our ancient ancestors. Yes, noticing a pretty berry was quite nice, but noticing that saber-suited tiger behind the bush coming out to eat you was life-saving. And so hence, noticing threats, scanning for problems, and being alert on what could endanger us became a way of self-preservation and survival. And over time, our brains became finely tuned to scan for problems, for responding to danger, and for remembering the negative details more than positive. And as a result, we tend to stick more to the negative more than the positive. Research even shows our decisions are more made of negative stimuli than positive stimuli and information. So while this is a great protection and evolutionary mechanism, if unchecked, it can distort our perceptions of reality. A harmless comment, a neutral comment from a friend or a loved one, or an acquaintance, can be taken as a sign of rejection and harsh criticism. A minor failure can be the end of it all, that we're failures and we're not good for anything. While 20% of our lives may not be so great, and the 80% are working great, we're still focusing on that 20% and saying, why is life so unfair? Well, we're not really counting our blessings. So as soon as we realize and reframe our perspective and our lens of attention to know, hey, that's my negativity bias at play, we're able to go from a space of self-victimization and blame gaming and naming to a sense of empowerment and growth. But have you noticed that the more you try to push a negative thought away and fight with it, the more it bounces back at you and boomerangs with even more intensity and frequency? How many of us? Yeah? So this is called what scientists say the ironic suppression theory, but I'd like to call this a tug of war. So I have a confession to make. Yesterday, I was trying very hard to sleep. You know, you're in bed and you're like, I have a big day tomorrow, you're trying to sleep. But the more you try to sleep, the more you cannot sleep, right? And the more you try to do something, the harder it is. You see, on the level of the mind, what you resist persists. Try to think anything right now but a pink elephant. What do you think about? A pink elephant. Have you ever tried to meditate and being so stuck in the thought that I must not think of anything, but all you can do is think? Yes or no? Or do that sleep incidents as well? The secret is, at the level of the mind, what effortlessness works more than effort. While our body works on effort and exercise, the mind thrives on effortlessness. Which is why when we're at ease and relaxed, the best ideas and inspirations come to us. And when we're trying to really think of that piece of information and that idea and it's stuck in our heads and we can't remember it, the harder it becomes to remember. So as soon as we let go of that tug of war and just let us ease ourselves into it, that's where we find calm, clarity, and tension in the present moment. But have you noticed, even now, as you're listening to me, your mind is going in the past, remembering something that you could have done, or an incident that you related to. Then you're listening to me coming back here right now. And then you go somewhere in the future. Oh, I'm hungry. When is the break? What do I have to do next? Right? How many of us? Don't worry, I won't get offended. It's a tendency of the mind. Right? It's normal, and it's natural, and it's a very common tendency of the mind, which I like to call mind time traveling. Our inner storyteller loves to go back into the past chapters and reminisce on what it could have, should have, and would have done. And then it loves to skip to future chapters audit what it could, should, and should do. And so we're hardly ever in the present moment. Research by Harvard scientist Matthew Killingsworth says that we spend half of our waking life not being in the here and now. And what does being here and the here and now even offer us? So I'd like to play a game with you. Are you ready? So all you have to do is put your hands in front and clap. So as I clap, you clap, right? So you're not here. You're not here. Gotcha. Have you seen, look around your fellow students and your fellow peers. What do you see in common? Everyone has a smile on their face. That's the power of the present moment. You feel immediately more energized, more pleasant, and happier. So research has also shown that when our minds are in the present moment and absorbed in what is here and now, we're much happier than when we're vacillating between the past and the future. It's easy to say that these tendencies of the mind exist, but why am I telling you all of this in the first place? It's not that any of these tendencies are bad or they need to be eradicated. The point of these tendencies is that with awareness of these tendencies, we're able to take a step back and realize that we hold the camera lens. And that's where the practice of mindfulness and meditation becomes so transformative. Just taking a step back and realizing that in that pause that, hey, I'm not focusing on what I need to focus on right now. I'm daydreaming about this presentation. Oh yes, I know I got that negative feedback, but hey, there are 12 other things that I did good today. So that power to take a step back and take a pause, we can adjust our lenses and use it in a way that's conducive for us, led into a self-sabotaging spiral. So I invite you to practice here, right now, right here with me. Let's close our eyes for just a few seconds and just notice where your mind is going at the moment. Is it going somewhere in the past? Is it going somewhere in the future? What is your mind yapping around? Is it holding on or resisting a negative thought? Or is it holding on or resisting a positive thought? And just open your eyes. How is it? Were you able to just for a few seconds observe how the mind just loves to yap away? So even this quiet moment, if it builds on, can be quite transformative and revolutionary. Because what it does, it builds a sense of empowerment and resilience. Once you realize that you have this gift to become aware of your attention, where and why your attention flows, where and how it does so, you're able to redirect it and retrain it because our minds are so malleable. And this is the gift that you give yourself. And this is the gift that you deserve. And this is what I would like you to take away with you. That our minds, with all its tendencies and trickiest tricks, are not our enemies. In fact, it's an over-ambitious, over-zealous advisor. Learn its patterns, befriend it through mindfulness, and you'll see that you hold the reins to your attention. That you hold the power to rewrite your story. A story of empowerment, resilience, learning and growth, rather than self-sabotage or blaming. In a world trying to buy our attention where we think is the external and outside distractions, we actually know that the hidden traps and hidden settings are in our very loops of our own mind. So this is the gift that you can give yourself, knowing that you have the power to redirect your attention and you have the power to rewrite your story. May you use it well to write stories that you'd love to read and share, one moment, one thought, and one snapshot at a time. Thank you.